Down on that corner where the community or the parish center is now was the where the nuns lived.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the convent.
There was a big house there, a big wooden house, and all the nuns lived there in the convent, they call it. And then down on this corner on the left was the high school. And it was a two-story building. And this is the store. Mm-hmm. It's closed. And there used to be a house, a couple of houses here on this corner here where we're talking about. But dining room, living room area, this one room. And the store went from the front to about, well, we go about here. It was all store, and then these little rooms were here in the back. And we lived here. And Dad had the odd number. He bid 125, he bid 127, and then they got into the 130s, and Dad said, you know, he just felt the guy was going to go to 140 and wasn't going to go any higher than 140. So Dad had bid 137, and the other guy bid 138, and Dad was really proud of himself. He said, I bid 140. And the other guy quit. So they owned the farm. So they bought the farm, and they didn't have enough to pay for it, but they had, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000 or something like that. And it was 110 acres at $140 an acre, so they owned, you know, it was $15,000. So they owed several $1,000s on the farm, and I was 11 then, and you know, and people had given me Christmas presents and what have you, and I think I had, and the war was going on, Second World War was going on, and I think I had maybe $700-800 in war bonds that people had given me for Christmas presents and what have you. And so Dad made me cash all the war bonds, and he bought the cows. That's how he financed the cows. So we had 10 or 11 milk cows out on the farm, and where Dad lived in 1932 and 1933, working for Earl. This was all farmland around here. He lived up there in that second story in this bedroom here on the left, and you know, it was, boy, everybody was making money, and it was really terrific. And so they, you know, they bought the farm, and they were able to make payments on it and what have you. And the middle 50s or early 50s. And this isn't our farm here, this is Powers' farm. Our farm starts right here at this fence line. Barn's gone. But that was the pony barn. I don't know whether you heard Larry Van Wassenhoek talking about helping Hank build the pony barn, but
that's the pony barn?
That's the pony barn, the red shed there.
Oh yeah, that's the house.
That's the house. And the barn was right there. God, it looks like the same old post.
Yeah, I'll let you...
The barn.
Oh, okay.
And God, everybody was digging post holes. You know, they dug all the post holes by hand.
So this was the end?
Yeah, this is the end.
So this is where the still was?
No, I'll take you that. It's the 80 down there. There's the old drum. Harry bought it. Alright. And Dad farmed it. And he hired a couple of guys to help him farm it.
This one on this side of the street?
You mean your dad farmed this one and his?
Yeah. So he had 190 and 240. He had 430 acres there.
430 acres.
Yeah. And,
buy any more machines for it?
Oh, sure. He bought bigger tractors and everything. It started at 240, started about right here.
Right.
And it went all the way to those buildings. There's 160 here. Right. There's another 80 anyway. And so he farmed it for 3 or 4 years, and Harry thought that was fine. You know. He was making money and what have you. Well, Dad's sisters didn't like it because Harry was showing favoritism to Dad. And, you know, he wasn't investing in things, you know, for them. And they just bitched and complained. So finally, Harry said, I gotta sell.
Right.
And Dad said, St. Patty's Day party you ever saw in your life. Here every year at St. Patty's Day. And when I was in graduate school, I brought a buddy of mine out here, and there was, gosh, well, I can't remember her name. She was a real good-looking Irish gal. Lived out here on the farm about a mile, and she was married. But boy, she had red hair and green eyes, and she was just a knockout. And she was sitting on the end bar stool. The bar runs this way, and there, on the left side. And she was sitting on the end bar stool, and Carl and I went walking through that door, and Carl was right behind me, and she jumped off that bar stool, and she put her arms around him and gave him a big hug, and he thought he had died and went to heaven.
He actually died and went to Harmon.
St. Patty's Day.